You are 42. It is Saturday afternoon. You have 3 hours to yourself. No work. No obligations. No one needs anything from you. You sit down on the couch, you pick up the controller, you turn on the game. The menu loads. You stare at it for a while. You press start. You play for 11 minutes. You put the controller down. You pick up your phone instead. And you sit there feeling vaguely dissatisfied without being able to explain why. This used to be your thing. Saturday afternoon, controller in hand. You used to lose entire weekends to this. You used to cancel plans for this. You used to play until 3 a.m. without noticing the time. Now you can't make it past 11 minutes. And the worst part is you don't even know what you'd rather be doing. You just know this isn't it. You're not bored of games. You're not too old for games. You're not too mature for games. Your brain just did something to your ability to enjoy them. Something specific, something fixable. And there are 8 hacks that explain exactly what happened and get it back. Starting today.
Hank hacks!
There's a guy Hank knows from work. Call him Marcus. Marcus is 44. Marcus still plays, not constantly, not obsessively, but when he sits down on a Saturday afternoon, he actually plays for 2 hours, sometimes 3, and he enjoys it the entire time. Hank used to think Marcus was different. Some people just stay connected to things. Some people never lose it. Marcus isn't different. Marcus just never broke what Hank broke. Without realizing either of them were breaking anything. The Hackmaster doesn't judge that. It just goes back to the exact moment each mistake was made, so Hank can finally see it and fix it. 42 years of closing games after 11 minutes. Let's go back to Saturday afternoon now. Let's hit rewind. You're 42, and this Saturday afternoon is different. You don't know it yet. But hack number 1 is the reason the game that used to consume you now barely holds your attention for 10 minutes, and it has nothing to do with the game. Hack number 1, the dopamine baseline shift. Here's what happened to your brain over the last several years without your permission, without your knowledge, without any single moment you could point to and say, that's when it changed. Your dopamine baseline shifted. Dopamine is the chemical your brain releases in anticipation of a reward. Not the reward itself, the anticipation. When you were 22 and you put a new game in for the first time, your brain released dopamine just from the loading screen, from the menu music, from the opening cutscene. Because the novelty was real, the reward was genuinely uncertain. Your brain was genuinely engaged. Now, your brain has spent years being exposed to social media designed to deliver a novel stimulus every 4 seconds. Notifications that arrive unpredictably and carry small, unpredictable rewards. Short video content optimized to trigger a dopamine response within the first 2 seconds of viewing. Infinite scroll built specifically to never let the dopamine drop too low for too long. Your brain adapted to this environment. It raised its baseline. What used to feel like a reward no longer registers as one. A game menu that once felt exciting now feels like waiting. Because compared to the constant micro-stimulation of your phone, it is waiting. The game didn't get worse. Your brain's sensitivity to reward got lower. The fix is not to find a better game. The fix is to lower the baseline before you play. 20 minutes of low stimulation before you pick up the controller. No phone, no scroll, no short videos. Just quiet, let the baseline drop, then pick up the controller. The difference is immediate. You don't know it yet. But hack number 2 is something you lost that you didn't even know was part of the experience. Hack number 2, the anticipation collapse. Hank remembers waiting for a game release, weeks, sometimes months, reading previews, watching trailers, imagining how it would feel to finally play it. That anticipation was not just waiting. That anticipation was dopamine. Research on reward systems shows that the brain releases more dopamine in anticipation of a reward than it does when the reward actually arrives. The waiting was part of the enjoyment, maybe the biggest part. Now, Hank has access to 800 games instantly. No waiting, no anticipation, no imagining, just immediate access to everything. And immediate access to everything means the anticipation never builds. And without anticipation, the reward arrives already half spent. He opens the library. 800 games. He stares at them for 12 minutes. He picks one. He plays for 11 minutes. He closes it. The problem wasn't the game. The problem was that there was no buildup, no wait, no earned arrival. The fix is to manufacture the anticipation deliberately. Pick one game only. Don't touch the library. Commit to it for 2 weeks before starting. Read about it. Watch the opening 30 minutes without playing. Let the anticipation rebuild. Let the brain do what it was designed to do before instant access trained it out of the habit. You don't know it yet, but hack number 3 is the one that made Hank feel like he was doing it wrong every time he sat down to play. Hack number 3, the comparison trap. Hank watches streams sometimes. He watches people play the same games he plays, and they react. They gasp, they laugh, they jump out of their chairs, they scream at the screen. And Hank sits there, feeling none of those things, and concludes that something is wrong with him. Something is wrong, but not with him. Here's what Hank didn't know about streaming. Professional streamers are performing, not feeling. Or rather, they are feeling, but they are also amplifying every feeling by a factor of 4, because that's what keeps people watching. The gasp is real. It's also bigger than the actual gasp. The excitement is real. It's also louder than the actual excitement. And Hank has been unconsciously measuring his own experience against a performance calibrated to retain maximum audience attention. His enjoyment was real. It just looked nothing like what he saw on screen. And because it looked nothing like what he saw on screen, he concluded it wasn't enough and pulled out his phone. The fix is to stop watching how other people enjoy games before you sit down to enjoy them yourself. The standard you're comparing against was designed for an audience, not for you. Your experience is real. It doesn't need to look like theirs. You don't know it yet. But hack number 4 is the one nobody talks about because it doesn't feel like a gaming problem. It feels like a life problem. Hack number 4, the context collapse. The best gaming experiences of Hank's life were not about the games. They were about the circumstances around the games. 17 years old, summer, no real obligations, 3 friends on a couch, pizza, nowhere to be tomorrow. The game was the activity. The context was the experience. Now it is Saturday afternoon. He has 3 hours. He has a list of things he should be doing instead. He has a phone with 22 unread messages. He has a vague background anxiety about a work email from Friday. He has the same game, and none of the context. The game didn't change. The context collapsed. The fix is not a better game. The fix is rebuilding the context, even partially. Order the food first. Text one person. Put the phone in another room. The context cannot be fully rebuilt at 42, but it can be approximated, and approximated is enough to turn 11 minutes into 2 hours. You don't know it yet. But hack number 5 is the invisible thing that happens in the 30 minutes before you even pick up the controller, and it ruins the session before it starts. Hack number 5, the scroll damage. Hank picked up his phone at 12 p.m. on Saturday. He played with it for 35 minutes, Instagram, Reddit, short videos, news, back to Instagram. At 12:35, he picked up the controller. His brain was calibrated for a stimulus every 3 seconds. The game opening cutscene is 90 seconds long. His brain lasted 40 seconds. He skipped the cutscene. He started playing. By the 2-minute mark, he had checked his phone twice. By the 8-minute mark, the game felt slow. By the 11-minute mark, he had put the controller down. His brain wasn't bored of the game. His brain was running on scroll calibration, and the game couldn't keep up. The fix is simple and immediately effective. No phone for 30 minutes before you play. Not 20, not 10, 30. Let the scroll calibration fade. Let the brain adjust to a slower reward cycle. Then pick up the controller. The game will feel completely different because a different brain will be playing it. You don't know it yet. But hack number 6 is the reason the game you keep going back to might simply be the wrong game for who you are right now. Hack number 6, the wrong game problem. Hank keeps returning to the same type of game he played at 22. Fast, competitive, loud. Because that's what gaming means to him. That's the template his brain built during the years when gaming felt like everything. But Hank at 42 is not Hank at 22. His nervous system is different, his available attention window is different. His relationship with competition and stress is different. A game designed for maximum stimulation and competitive pressure played by a nervous system that has spent all week making 35,000 decisions per day is not going to feel like play. It is going to feel like more work. The fix is to audit your current state and match the game to it, not to who you were, to who you are right now. Slower games, games with no stakes, games that let you set your own pace. Games where you can stop at any time without consequence. The category is called comfort gaming. And the people who never lost the joy of games often got there by changing what they played as they changed who they were. Marcus plays completely different games now than he played at 25. Not because he gave up on the games he loved, because he stayed honest about what he actually wanted. You don't know it yet, but hack number 7 is the reason the best gaming session you had last year probably didn't happen on your best setup. It happened when someone else was in the room. Hack number 7, the social layer. Hank has a good setup, good TV, good controller, good headset. He plays alone. Because that's convenient. Because coordinating with other people takes effort. Because his friends are busy. Because online multiplayer with strangers is not the same thing at all. Here's what Hank's best gaming memory from the last 10 years was: a Tuesday night. His friend came over unexpectedly. They played an old game for 3 hours. Nothing special about the game. Everything special about the Tuesday. Research on enjoyment and social connection consistently shows that shared experiences produce significantly more positive emotion than the same experiences had alone. The game was always partly about the people, and the people gradually disappeared from the setup as convenience replaced coordination. The fix is to bring one person back, just one, once a month. It doesn't have to be a production. It doesn't need a great game. It needs another person in the room. The session will be better, not because the game changed, because the most important component of the experience was never the game. You don't know it yet, but hack number 8 is the smallest intervention with the largest effect, and it costs nothing and takes about 2 minutes to set up. Hack number 8, the re-entry protocol. Every time Hank sat down to play, he came in cold. No preparation, no transition. Scrolling phone. Pick up controller. Stare at menu. Feel nothing. Put down controller. The brain was never given a transition signal, a signal that said, we are switching modes now. We are going from reactive to immersive, from passive to active, from consuming to playing. The re-entry protocol is a 3-step sequence that takes 2 minutes and tells the brain a mode change is happening. Step 1, phone in another room, not face down, another room. Step 2, 30 seconds of doing nothing. Sit with the quiet. Step 3, open the game and watch the menu for 1 full minute before pressing start. That's it. 3 steps, 2 minutes. The brain registers the transition. The mode switch becomes real. And the game starts with a brain that is actually present for it. Hank tried this on a Saturday. He played for 2 hours and 14 minutes. He didn't check his phone once. He didn't put the controller down. He didn't feel the 11-minute wall. The game was the same game. The brain was in a completely different state. You are 42. It is Saturday afternoon. You have 3 hours. This time, you put the phone in the bedroom before you sit down. You sit quietly for 30 seconds. You turn on the game. You watch the menu. You press start. You play for 2 hours and 14 minutes. You don't check your phone. You forget about the work email. You forget about the unread messages. For 2 hours and 14 minutes, you are just playing. And it feels exactly like it used to. Not because the game changed, because you changed how you arrived at it. Marcus nods from across the office on Monday. He doesn't ask how the weekend was, he just nods. He knows. That's what 42 years of 11-minute sessions finally taught Hank. You don't have to wait that long. Here's your complete list. 1. The dopamine baseline shift. Lower the baseline before you play. 20 minutes of quiet before you pick up the controller. 2. The anticipation collapse. Pick one game. Commit to it for 2 weeks before starting. Let the anticipation rebuild. 3. The comparison trap. Stop measuring your experience against streamers. Their reactions are calibrated for an audience. Yours are real. 4. The context collapse. Rebuild the context. Order the food. Text one person. Phone in another room. The game needs the context. 5. The scroll damage. No phone for 30 minutes before you play. A different brain will be holding the controller. 6. The wrong game problem? Match the game to who you are now, not who you were. Comfort gaming is not giving up. It's being honest. 7. The social layer. Bring one person back once a month. The best gaming memories were never just about the game. 8. The re-entry protocol. Phone in another room. 30 seconds of quiet. 1 minute on the menu before pressing start. 2 minutes. The brain switches modes. That's it. That's the whole list. Hank did it. You can do it. He has a library of 800 games he couldn't enjoy, and a Saturday afternoon that finally lasted 2 hours. So there's hope for everyone. If Hank can get past 11 minutes, you can do it too. Subscribe. New hacks every single week. The Hackmaster is waiting.
Hank, hack!